Authorities in Malaysia now say a missing passenger jet may have turned back before disappearing. Search aircraft and vessels have spent almost 2 days hunting for any signs of flight MH370. The plane vanished about an hour after leaving Kuala Lumpur for Beijing. 239 people were on board. The search has been focused on the waters between Malaysia and Vietnam, but radar indicates that the flight may have turned around, even though the pilot never notified air traffic control. Now Thailand is searching closer to its shores. Meanwhile, Interpol says it is concerned after discovering that 2 passengers were traveling on stolen passports. Their tickets had been bought through South China Airways, which has a code share with Malaysia Airlines. Vietnamese searchers are looking at items spotted in the Gulf of Thailand, and tests are being run to see if oil found in the sea could be from the plane. Authorities maintain it is still too early to rule anything out.
I said from the beginning that we are looking at all possibilities. Just because not yet does not mean that we are saying that it is a terrorist act, but we are not discounting anything when it comes to lives of innocent people.
Andrew Stevens is covering developments from Beijing for us. So, Andrew, have we learned anything new? So many questions remain.
Certainly so many more questions than there are answers at this stage, Relitza. That press conference, that clip we just saw then, the press conferences keep coming back to the same fundamental point, which is the focus is still very much on finding the aircraft. And until they find the aircraft, it is very difficult to piece together, obviously, what happened and why it happened. Now, a lot of the focus has been today on the passports, the 2 stolen passports. They were stolen 2 years ago from an Austrian and an Italian national. Both of those passports were registered by Interpol as having been stolen, yet they clearly were used successfully to board a flight. We don't know by who. We do know that the 2 people who used those passports did appear to know each other, because the tickets were bought virtually simultaneously from the same company in Thailand for that China Southern flight. That's all we know at this stage. The investigation, the Malaysians were asked what happens now, and they said we can't, as we've seen, we can't rule anything out. Point blank asked whether that was a terror attack. They're considering a terror attack. Again, they say we can't say it was a terror attack. We can't not say it was a terror attack. So at this stage, a lot of frustration, Relitza. That search you mentioned, it has been widened. Interesting that the plane apparently may have turned around. The authorities are characterising this as possibly having turned around. They can't say for certain whether it did or not, but it is very, very unusual if the plane did turn around with no message from the pilots as to why they were turning around, and no information coming, no automatic information coming from the plane pointing to the same thing. So again, more questions there. Very frustrating, particularly and obviously for the families of those passengers on the plane, Relitza.
Absolutely. And how are they coping with this lack of information?
Well, you can only imagine the frustration and the pain they must be feeling hourly as they wait in vain for getting information. Certainly the frustration levels are rising. There was a petition signed today by about 100 of the family members calling for the truth, as they put it, from the Malaysian authorities, and asking the Chinese government to help them deal with the Malaysian authorities. Not clear what they mean by the truth. What they want, and that frustration, is they just want to know what's going on. Malaysian Airlines is being cautious, but perhaps understandably so, because they still don't know. We don't have any concrete evidence. Even the oil slicks, we don't know whether they are associated with the wreckage of a downed airliner. There was reports earlier that debris had been spotted. That debris has now been dismissed. So the family are being not deliberately, but so unavoidably kept in the dark. We were down there today at the hotel where the families are staying. They're now going through processing to get to Kuala Lumpur. They're getting a lot of new passports are issued, and they will be offered to fly to Kuala Lumpur. Obviously, it's going to be closer to the crash site, if indeed there is a crash site and it's found. So many family members will be travelling down there. Malaysian Airlines has said that if they do find the plane, and it is indeed the wreckage of a plane, that they will fly the family members out, Relitza, to that area so they can pay their final last respects to their family members, to their friends, to their loved ones.
Andrew Stevens in Beijing, thank you very much.